Okay, I didn't announce this on Instagram like I normally do and tell everyone I was coming here today. Hi, Sri. Elena, welcome. ISPA, is it IPSA? Did I say that right? Current Jam, hi. Sorry I'm a couple minutes late. I set my phone down somewhere and then I didn't know where I put it. Prude, is it Prude V? Am I saying that right? Welcome. We've got Sayavin. Brittany's here. Lily's here. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Lily. What do you mean that your cousin shot up a lot? We've got, is it Andrea's here? Oh, hi. Good morning, bedhead. Good morning, messy bedhead. I'm going to open this for you. I'm going to comb your hair. You're looking like alfalfa. Hi, love my furry kids. There you go. Enjoy. So good morning. So I guess I haven't talked to you since last week, unless some of you guys were on my webinar on Friday. Any of you guys on my webinar on Friday? I'd love to hear what your thoughts were on that if you were there. So yes, good morning, everyone. Oh, shot up a lot in height. Okay. You had me worried there for a minute when you said you saw your cousin shot up a lot. That could have meant they got shot with a gun. Or it could have meant there's a term in America that we call shooting up with drugs. So you had me worried when you said your 12-year-old cousin just shot up a lot. I was thinking something bad and I wasn't thinking height. Hi, Roman. Welcome. So, questions. We're going to do a question and answer session. Yeah, current Jam, I have hundreds of people sending me messages on Instagram, so I don't necessarily remember every one of them. Hi, Danny. Oh, thank you. Thank you for your kind words. So what do you guys think? What did I put? Can I see your child with autism? I will pray for him. Well, he's in the other room right now, but if he comes in to join us, but we will happily accept your prayers whether he comes in or not. Hey, Jarrell. So what did I put for the title today of this message? Thank you, Saravin. Is it Sayavin? I'm so sorry if I'm not saying your name right. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. I think the message today, I was going to talk a little bit at the beginning about when do you give up working, or when do you quit working, or when do you stop working? Oh, when should you quit your job? Is that what I put for the title? Oh, I didn't mean to put that for the title. Oh, quit working. I forgot the title. Sometimes things go in and they go right back out. Well, Lily, we can only do so much, right? We don't have too much control. Oh, wait, somebody told me how to say their name. It's pronounced Sharvin. Sharvin? Give me a thumbs up if I said that right. Sharvin. Okay. Because I could probably remember Sharvin. Oh, and then we've got, is it Duro Ace? Is that true that you adopted kids? No. I did not adopt any kids. Sharvin. Okay. Someone's got a science exam tomorrow. Okay, so when should we quit working? So I found this little ditty. I don't know, maybe by the time you guys are done, she said, I'll quit tomorrow. I hate Mondays. Sharvin, I got it right. Good morning, Orly. So when should we quit working? I found a little ditty that I liked in here. Poems with power to strengthen the soul. I should have the title of this memorized, right? I've been reading little excerpts from here for like a year. I'm hoping that maybe someday you guys will like poetry as much as me. I've been pounding it into your head most weeks, but I don't know if it's taken hold yet. So I found this poem by Nixon Waterman called Go Right On Working. How many of you guys like work? Somebody wants to know what my hobby is. It's poetry. That's my hobby. Writing it, reading it. Yeah, I think that's my hobby. I am bored, so I joined the live. Oh, well, welcome. I don't know if I'm the cure for your boredom, but maybe getting something you're passionate about in life, that would help. Good morning, Winnie. If you find something you're passionate about, sometimes you're not bored anymore because you're finding something that you really like to do. Sharvin likes cooking. Okay, so when should we quit working? Should we quit working when things are hard, when it's too tough to figure out? Or should we quit working when we don't see that things are working out, when there's no advantage to it? Or should we quit working when we feel defeated? Or should we quit working at our goals when we're having doubts? Orly said, I like my work. Good morning, Loretta. So I'll just read you what this Nixon Waterman says in this poem called Go Right On Working. Ah, yes, the task is hard, 'tis true. But what's the use of sighing? Right? Sometimes you get to go to do your work and you're like, oh, this is so hard. I don't want to do it. You have a dinosaur? Oh, that's nice. What kind?
2 dinosaurs.
You have 2 dinosaurs? Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Oh, and he wants to show his skateboarder. Oh, I guess he should show the skateboard. Woo! There's your skateboarder. A skateboarding and a dinosaur. Nice. Oop. Oh, yes, the task is hard, 'tis true. But what's the use of sighing? The soonest with their duties through, who bravely keep on trying. Right? They're saying, you know, if your task is hard and you're like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, the one who's quickest through is the one who just presses ahead and who just bravely keeps on trying. Because if you know you got to do the work anyway, how many of you have been like me where you're just like, something you don't want to do, it's like an awful task and you're like procrastinating and doing everything else except that thing you know you're supposed to do? But how many of you know on the days that you know, whatever it is that like maybe it's something around the house, you're like, oh, I don't want to do that thing. Or maybe it's a homework or a test or preparing for something and you just don't want to do it. But when you actually like, you know what, I'm buckling down, I'm going to get rid of all the distractions, I'm going to quit scrolling social media, and then you just do it, you feel so much better when it's done. The soonest with their duties through, who bravely keep on trying. There's no advantage to be found in sorrowing or shirking. Okay, so there's no advantage to like moaning and whining. Gotcha. Moaning and whining and complaining about it. That's not going to help you at all. Those with success are soonest crowned, who just go right on working. There's no advantage. He's trying to steal the show here. There's no advantage to be found in sorrowing or shirking. They with success are soonest crowned, who just go right on working. Right? You just go right on and do it. Just finish it. Get it over with, right? The sooner you get that awful task off your plate, the better it's going to be for you. Right? Right, Elijah? Right? Say do your work.
Do your work.
And do it well.
Do it well.
Because rewards?
Because rewards
I was trying to make a poem on the spot, and then I'm like, where do we go from there? Do your work and do it well. What was the next line? Because rewards will come, no tell. Doesn't even make sense. Forget my poetry on the spot. That's not why I'm not a, what are those people that make up stuff on the spot? Improv. That's why I use scripts when I act. Okay. Okay, last paragraph. Strive patiently and with a will that shall not be defeated. Keep singing at your task until you see it stand completed. See it stand completed. I'll get to your guys' questions in a minute. Strive patiently and with a will that shall not be defeated. Keep singing at your task until you see it stand completed. What do they mean by that? Keep singing. Find joy in what you do. You know, have you ever heard that term, whistle while you work? You just do something that you enjoy while you're having to do the thing you don't enjoy, right? Nor let the clouds of doubt draw near, your sky's glad sunshine murking. Be brave and fill your heart with cheer, and just go right on working. So when should you quit working? That was the question that we were going to talk about today. The answer is never. Never quit. Now, did you know, I don't know how many of you guys know this. Like, I don't know about other countries, but in America, everyone's like, they look forward to retirement. Ooh, I can't wait till I retire. I can't wait till I don't have to work anymore. I can't wait till I'm independently wealthy. I can't wait to stop working. Well, first of all, then you're probably in the wrong job. You got to be doing something that you love, something that matters to you. So I didn't see all the comments the last 9 minutes. So if you guys put questions in for me, now would be the time to retype them. That way you don't have to see my finger going like this while I'm scrolling up. Good morning, Anwisha. So did you guys know that the Bible only doesn't really even mention the word retirement? There's like only one instance in the Bible where they talk about like retirement, but that wasn't even to quit working. That was when like you were a priest and you got to a certain age, then your duties just shifted. So you switched over from whatever your main duties were as a priest to just, it's like it's a less, less of a heavy duty workload, but we never stop working. We're going to keep working, and maybe this sounds depressing to some of you, but we're going to keep working until we die. So make sure you're doing something you love, and then it won't feel like work. Jarrell said, do you want to do anything else? Did you want to do anything else before you started working? Oh, before I started acting. I had the word work in my mind. I thought I wanted to be a teacher, but I kind of feel like I am one. Maybe not officially, but I have all kinds of ideas for online courses I want to make and create. So, yeah, there's a lot I want to teach. I just doing it on my own terms and not through a system. I like doing it on my own. I don't necessarily always agree with everybody else's curriculum. So I got stuff I want to teach on my own. Speaking of which, I'd love some of your guys' feedback. Any of you guys who were on the webinar on Friday night, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Okay, go ahead and type in your question. Will you be happy if your enemy succeeds? Depends on what they're succeeding in doing. If they're succeeding in doing something good and noble and that's going to help humanity, yeah, I will clap and cheer for them. But if my enemy is doing something that hurts people, that hurts the poor and the widows and the fatherless and the orphans and children, heck no, I'm not going to be cheering for them or clapping or happy they succeeded if they're hurting people. So, yeah. How does it feel to work with Dhar Mann? Duro Ace asks. I love it. I like it there. Have you ever been to Hawaii? Yes, I have. Which island? I don't remember. I was there in 2010. for a stock trading workshop. I took some classes in trading in the stock market, and so I had a workshop there. Orly, I enjoy my work, especially when the kids I work with succeed after I teach them. Yeah. as Azina, sorry if I butchered your name. I enjoy working at Dhar Mann. It looks like Lily is obsessed about her height today. We've seen lots of comments about Lily's height. I don't know how old I was when I was 12. I think maybe I was 4'6". I might have been 4'6", because I know when I entered high school, which was 7th grade for us, we didn't have middle school where I grew up. So it was grade school and high school. I remember because it was like opposite. So when I entered high school, I was 4'7" and 74 pounds. And then I like doubled my weight and grew 10 inches in high school. I should have got water. Current Jam, I answered your question. Jasleen, hello, how are you? Jildy wants to know if the actors are nice there. They are. I've mentioned on a couple of my other lives before, sometimes whenever there was like an actor who wasn't cool or wasn't nice, they just don't ask them to come back. They just get rid of them. If you don't act right, they get rid of you. Oh, thank you, Emmy. What's my favorite Dhar Mann video? Well, I made a video here on my channel called, was it called my 8 favorite Dhar Mann videos I'm in? I think that might be the title of it, or maybe it's called the 9 favorite. I think it's 8 favorite Dhar Mann videos I'm in. That will tell you what my favorite ones were. It was hard to narrow it down to one just because I've been in like 120 of them. Okay, Sharvin or Sarvin. I feel like I had it before. So you asked, I want to serve people in need after I start making money on YouTube. I want to feed the homeless, give education to children who can't afford it. That is my dream. Okay. It's a good dream, except don't wait till you're like making all kinds of money on YouTube. So you got to start now. You got to start right where you're at with what you have, with the finances you have. You can't wait. Okay, so it's my 8 favorite videos on YouTube, Angela says, or my 8 favorite Dhar Mann videos I'm in. You got to start now. It's like people who say, well, once I get rich, then I'm really going to be generous. Then I'm really going to start giving. No, you have to give where you're at. If you only have $1, you got to get used to giving 10 cents away from every dollar. And you got to do what you can. You know what? Maybe you don't have all kinds of money to feed the homeless right now, but you know, maybe you go to the store and you buy a bag of apples. Maybe you can give one of your apples away to you. You start with where you're at. So it's an awesome and noble cause, and I think you should go for it. I just want you to start sooner than before you start making money on YouTube, because I've been on YouTube for 10 years and I'm putting out at least 3 videos a week, sometimes 4. And let me tell you, it does not pay the bills. It does not. Maybe on a good month I'll have enough for a tank of gas. And I'm paying my editors, I don't even want to tell you the ridiculous amount I'm paying my editors who work on my videos. I'm not getting back what I'm putting in. Let me just tell you that much. So don't let here's the thing for all of you guys. Don't let your dream be contingent upon, once I do this, then I'll make it. Does that make sense? Then I'll go for my dream. You have to do the best you can to start where you're at. Can you speak that dialogue? What dialogue? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Okay, so some of you guys must be having your own conversation because I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, thank you, Estera. What's your favorite Dhar Mann actor? You might, I don't have a favorite one. There's so many. So you're a student, you don't make money. That's okay. That's okay. But there's still ways. There's still, you want to help people. You want to teach people. You know what? As a student, one thing you can do that doesn't cost any money, you said you wanted to help children, you could, you could tutor. You could find kids maybe 1 or 2 days a week. You could find some kids that aren't doing good in school. Maybe they're in a lower level than you. And you can teach them. You can tutor them for free. And that's like sowing your seed for the harvest you want to have in the future. So I still encourage you, don't wait till you're making money. It could take years. I've been consistently putting videos on YouTube for at least 2 years, maybe 3, maybe even 4. I don't know, but let me tell you, it's not. I know there's a lot of YouTubers that are making big money, but I would say that's not the norm. That takes a lot to get to there. I haven't found the key to that success yet. Brittany says, I was at the webinar. It was great. It kept me engaged. Nothing negative to say. Oh, awesome. Thank you. I appreciated the feedback. I felt like everything was working against me that day. We've got Zanette from the Philippines. Welcome. What best thing you did on the Dhar Mann cast? What's the best thing I did? Like in one of the films or with the cast? I'm not sure on your question. Thank you, Roscoe. Oh, okay. Jasleen, I see what you're talking about now. I was like, what man do you need to take care of your needs? This might not be the right webinar or the right live for you because we're not mans to take care of your needs. But I see you're talking about a role I played on Dhar Mann. Okay, gotcha. No, Vias, I have not heard of Generation Hope. Jarrell, I agree with you because you don't know where you're going to end up. You can be successful and still be broke. That's true. Katherine, Norland, are you 5'3" or 4? Is 5'3" or 5'4" decent for a 14-year-old? I think whatever height you are at whatever age you're at, is perfect. It's meant to be. Don't you guys have to stop stressing about things you have no control over. That is going to destroy your life. When you worry and obsess about things I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to try to eat a lot more spinach so you can have a growth spurt? Just be happy with where you're at. Be happy. It's a great height for your age, Duro Ace. It's a great height. It's a great height for any age. Maybe not if you're 2. Probably not if you're 2. Okay. All right. What should I do about my insecurities? Please, I need help. I would say throw them out the window. What is the point of being insecure? Does being insecure help anything? No, it only hurts things. It can only hurt you if you're going around being insecure. There's no point in it. And why are you insecure? Are you comparing yourselves to somebody else? Well, what's the point in that? When did this become a height convo channel? I don't know. It's some people's insecurities. Get rid of it. Throw it out the window. You guys, anything, whatever you're dealing with, whatever is bothering you, whatever your insecurity is, whatever you don't feel good about, if it's not serving you, meaning if it doesn't help you, if it doesn't enrich your life, if it doesn't make you feel good, if it stops you from going after your dreams, if it makes you feel like you don't measure up, if it makes you feel less, then you have to just kick it to the curb, throw it out the window, get rid of any thought or idea that is working against you, going for your dreams and your call. You got to just get rid of it. I don't care if the doctor said you're too short. I don't care if the whatever scientist said you've got this rare genetic mutation that's going to make you die in 4 years. Get rid of it. Don't dwell on it. Don't think about it, because then you're letting it rob your life. You're letting your insecurities, you're letting somebody else's opinion rob your life. And you know what? Sometimes these people who tell us these things are dead wrong. They are dead wrong. So if you're throwing away your life, you're wasting all this time dwelling on, thinking about what this person said to you, and oh my God, I only have 4 years left to live. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. Oh my gosh, I'm never gonna. Even if he's right, even if you only have 4 years left, you are wasting it dwelling on, worrying about. Say cheese. Cheese. Are you taking a picture of me? Cheese. Oh, it smells like you washed your hands. You must have used a lot of soap if I can smell it from here. Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you. Are you going to be a photographer? Yeah. How do I look? Cheese. What time is it here? I don't know. I think it's about 8:30 a.m. So, Lily says if I don't grow any further, I may have to run further tests on why I'm not growing. Why? Why not just let your body do what it's going to do and trust it? Trust your body. It's not going to steer you wrong. There's nothing wrong with you if you don't get to a certain height. Do you know I'm taller than both my parents? And I'm not even 5'5". I think my dad might have been taller when he was younger. At least he claimed to be. But then with age and weight, gravity pulling down, he shrunk a little. But your height is not a determining factor in reaching your dreams, at least not the dreams that God has purposed for you. Yes, there was a time in... You want me to stay here? Yeah. Okay, I'll stay here. I'll wait for you. Yes, there was a time in my life where I wanted to be a model, but not really. I don't know. Because I didn't know. I didn't know what I wanted to be. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll be a model. That doesn't require any education. And I went to these modeling schools. They just robbed me blind, ridiculously took thousands of dollars from me, promising me a career in modeling. Y'all, I was like 5'4" and 150 pounds. There was no way I was going to be a model. But these modeling schools, they'll just brainwash you. They put me in a runway show. Y'all, they put me in a runway show. I drove 8 hours to Chicago to be in a runway competition at 5'4" and 150 pounds. I was delusional. I needed to be like 5'9" and 115 pounds. So, yes, maybe your height is a determining factor in something like that. But there have been models that have proved that wrong. There's been short models now that have come out. There's been models way more than me that have. So it's not a determining factor to a dream God has put in your heart. Derek says, I enjoyed your webinar. Shouldn't matter the size for doing runway, period. It shouldn't, but clothing manufacturers really enjoy people whose body types make you look like a hanger. Because then they know what it's going to look like hanging in the store. That's why the modeling industry for the last 10 or 15 years, maybe longer, has been very deceptive. Now they don't really disguise it anymore, but before it was cool to be, before it became normalized to be like transgender or whatever, the modeling industry was hiring young boys to pretend to be women, and because they wanted that just thin, lean, to have the clothes draped on, to be basically walking hangers. And it was like a secret the modeling industry had for many years. And then us women are beating ourselves up. We're like, how come our hips and butt aren't that slim? How come that, and they weren't even women. Well, now it doesn't matter because they don't hide that anymore. They have normalized it, made it cool, whatever. So, hello, Demetrius, welcome. All right, if I missed your question, you can type it in again. We should not compare ourselves to other people because everyone is different. How about we compare ourselves to our past self? Yes, in how much we've grown, but and there's some of you ladies on here, do not compare your current self, your current body or face to your 16-year-old face or body. I had a manager that did that to me once, like complaining about how I looked, how big I was, how I didn't look young, and like whatever. He was like, but he was comparing me to 20-year-olds, and I said, why don't you start comparing me to people my age, and then you'll see maybe I'm not half bad. And then when he finally did that, he was like, oh, I see what you mean, yeah. You can't compare yourself to someone 15 years younger than you, And Weisha said, I loved your course material. Thank you. That was just a tiny, tiny, tiny little sampling out of my online course called You Are Worthy. I think just 3 small points, and I probably have 100 points. It's going to be it's not all edited together yet, but I have the first 4 lessons ready to go. So for anyone who signs up, I'm going to start releasing the lessons every Friday. I'll drip out 1 or 2 lessons. And then what I'm going to do for this group only, just for the people who sign up this week, I'm going to allow them to be in a private group coaching session with me with just a few people, where I'm going to walk you through the whole thing and answer all of your questions and help you discover how to apply it to your life. And I probably won't do that ever again. That's a big commitment for me. So I'll do that the Sunday after when I release the lessons. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the transformation people are going to get, because I see how I used to be. I see how timid and shy and unsure of myself I used to be. Thank you, Angela. You're so sweet. I see, how I wouldn't fight for myself. I wouldn't stand up for myself. I wasn't confident in who I was. And I let it stop me from a lot of opportunities. And I'm not doing that anymore. And I want to help others, like, break off whatever is weighing them down, that's stopping them from, like, just loving themselves, loving life, and, going for everything, going for what they want. Okay, so Danny said, I didn't go to college, but you taught me not to let that define me. You have given me so much self-esteem. I love you for this. Keep motivating. You have no idea how much you helped me heal. Oh, Danny. Oh my gosh, that means so much to me. So much so that I just put my hand up in front so I could screenshot your comment. Then I will look at it on days I'm depressed and feel like I'm not helping anyone. Okay, but no, seriously, I encourage you guys to, when somebody says something good about you, it's so easy to forget it. I encourage you to save it, to screenshot it. And then if you do have days where you're like, is what I'm doing even making a difference? Then you go back to those, those comments people gave you, and it will help you. Why isn't the webinar available for replay? I only sent it out to those who registered for the webinar. I kept it private. It's a private link, guys. It's Sunday here. Derek, I don't think it's that people don't like autistic people. It's that they don't understand. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to relate. It's what it is it's unfamiliarity. It's the same thing with when you live in a place where maybe it's only one race, and then you see someone from a different race or culture move in, and because you don't know about them and you think maybe there's more differences than there is things that are alike, it's like you're cautious. You don't know how to relate. You don't know, people don't necessarily know how to be around you. I don't think it has to do with not liking you. I think it has to do with not understanding you. So, you know, one thing, so Lily is on here and she is on the spectrum. And one thing I think Lily does really well is she lets people know, kind of, I don't want to say how she is, like how she lets people know in advance. You know, sometimes I get a little obsessive about something. I'm sorry, it's part of my Asperger's. So she lets people know in advance, like how she behaves or what sometimes that she does, so people can not freak out. And Derek, I've told you this for years, to like when you go to networking events, to let people know, so, you know, I'm autistic and I'm trying to become a photographer and stuff like that. Not because I think you have to wear your diagnosis or your condition on your sleeve or that it defines you in any way. It's not for that purpose. But what it is it helps disarm people. It helps them go, oh, okay, because sometimes what you don't realize, Derek, I'm speaking to Derek because I know him personally, so I can speak to him in a more familiar way, and I've seen his behavior and I've seen him at parties and stuff. Sometimes when you're out and about and you're at parties, sometimes you stare at people a little too long, and that's not something that a lot of us are comfortable with. And I know you don't mean anything by it, but people who don't know you, they get a little scared or they get a little worried. You know, that's just one of many examples. But if you let people know, like, hey, I'm autistic and I'm trying to learn how to better socialize with people. I'm trying to learn how to better communicate with people, and you just let them know, then it's not a problem. Let me give you an example from my life so it doesn't sound like I'm picking on you. So I'm at a birthday party yesterday with Timothy. It was one of his friends, well, one of my friends, their kid was turning 10. And there was a lot of girls. There was a lot of girls there. There were some kids, boys there too, playing Nerf guns. And the girls were like having a dance contest, and they were jumping in the trampoline. Well, Timothy, with his cerebral palsy, he can't really stand very well on solid ground, yeah, but one foot, his heel doesn't go down. So he's got one foot he can put on the ground, and the other foot he's like on his toe. So he's in the trampoline, he's not stable, he's like falling over and, you know, taking up space. And like the little girls, they kicked him out. They didn't want him to be part of their dance, whatever. He came in the house and he's like, Mom, they kicked me out, and I just want to cry. They don't want me part of their dance contest. And, you know, but that's because they didn't understand. They didn't know why he kept like falling down and getting in the way, and they couldn't do their tricks because he's laying in the middle of the trampoline because he couldn't stay upright and hold his balance. So he was pretty upset about it. But when the father of the main girl went out and explained, you know, Timothy has cerebral palsy, he can't stand, he can't hold his balance, you know, when he explained what was going on to the girls, they got it, they understood, and they came up with a solution to include him. So sometimes when we're, you know, struggling with people, like you say, oh, people don't like autistic people, sometimes they don't know. They, you know, because we can't tell someone's ability just by looking at them. You can't always tell. Some people have disabilities that are invisible. They don't know, like, what's wrong with you. So sometimes, not because you're like trying to tell everyone you've got something, but it helps disarm them. It helps them. What it does is it makes them want to help you. It makes them want to include you. It makes them want to be like, Oh my gosh, oh, you're struggling with that. Okay, let me help you. Let me help you figure this out. Does that make sense? I don't know if I don't know if that was helpful, but I think it just, saying that, hey, I have trouble walking, Timothy, he should have said, he doesn't really have the vocabulary to always express himself, but he should have said, guys, I really want to be part of your thing, but I know I can't stand very well, and I know I fall down a lot. How can I still be part of it? Is there something we can do? And he could have worked if he was able to express himself. Do you know what I mean? So, okay, good. Derek says it makes sense. If he says it makes sense, that's all we needed. Okay. All right. And then we've got Sam Preeth wants to research more ways to get rid of glasses. I heard somebody's testimony the other day of they started drinking distilled water, and apparently distilled water is supposed to be really good for flushing out toxins and chemicals and impurities from the body. And after a year or two of drinking distilled water every day, they were able to get rid of their glasses. I just started drinking distilled water like 2 weeks ago. I can't wait to see what happens. I have ordered a water distiller. I'm waiting for it to come in the mail. All right, Elena says, I have an underactive thyroid. I have about 300 symptoms, but I manage each day. Most of my symptoms you can't see. Yeah, most people are battling something that we have no idea. Via says, some people think of grades they get and the college they attend as an accessory and a way to define their self-worth. I know, that's so sad. Lily says, since I'm on the spectrum of autism, my vocabulary skills, comprehensive skills, literacy is under the minimum requirements of decent when I was in high school, and it's still pretty bad. See, maybe it is under, but I haven't noticed that about you at all. And considering English isn't even your first language, right? I think you're very eloquent and able to express yourself. So I would honestly stop comparing myself to anyone else and just use what you've got to your advantage. That's a great idea. I'll definitely start right away. I will give advice. I will give what I have to educate poor children. Yay! You know what? When you do that, you're going to see blessings come your way. It's like tithing. Have you guys heard of tithing? It's a concept in the Old Testament of the Bible where you give 10% of your earnings to God, to the church, to charitable causes, and just God comes back and blesses you when you do that. So when you give your time, when you help out others, that comes back to you, right? It's called, in the Bible, it's called sowing and reaping. In like Buddhism, it's called karma. But yeah. Okay. Is it Ace Lexi wants to know when I started acting? So I started my acting career about 20 years ago. Technically, I started going to school for acting in Minneapolis and trying it out there first 22 years ago. But I moved to LA about 20 years ago to start acting. Okay, my favorite color is turquoise. Lily, you speak English. Well, at least you write English. So I don't know why you're saying you don't, because we've had multiple conversations on Instagram, and it's always been in English because that's the only language I read. Okay. Have you ever been typecast in your acting roles before? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's kind of what they do. That's kind of what they do here. They just assume you're this type of person, and then they just try to make you play all those roles. Dhar Mann is actually they helped me break out of that. For a while, I was just getting the super sweet and nice characters. But then, back when they had only a tiny, small pool of actors, they had certain roles come up, and they tried to get other people, but they had a hard time initially getting actors because people didn't know who they were, and they were like, well, who is, now people are beating down the door to work for them, but before, they couldn't even get actors. I had to recommend all kinds of people to them. Do you guys want me to do a video? I've been thinking about doing a video Do you want me to do a video on all the people who've worked for Dhar Mann because of my suggestions? Do you want to know who the actors are that I brought to the table? All right, let me know. Maybe I'll do a video like that. Okay, let's see. So somebody's saying goodbye. It's 1 a.m. there. They got to go. Great chatting with you. Blessings. Thank you. Newbiz says, you don't have idea how your words make me thinking about when you leave with a medical condition for the rest of your life. I need to trust and have faith in God again. Absolutely, you guys, your medical conditions, whatever you're going through in life, it's no surprise to God. Like, he knew that this is what you were going to battle. He knew that this is what you were going to deal with. And the awesome thing is, he also knows it's no determining factor for your success in life. He knows it's not going to stop you from the purposes and the plans he has for you and for you to have happiness and fulfillment. But if you spend your life being down on yourself for not being like others, or being mad at yourself, or trying to be like something that you're not, then your life is going to be miserable. And that's your choice. We get to choose if we're going to be happy or not. We get to, it doesn't matter what our circumstances, it doesn't matter what our situation is, it doesn't matter, even if we don't have all our arms and legs, we can still be happy and joyful and fulfilled. And I know people like that. So, all right, so let's see, this might be weird, but do you want me to be your friend? Oh, you guys are so sweet. You're all my friends. Has there been any British actors on Dhar Mann? You know, there have been, I don't know. There's one who might be British. Julie. Do you guys know who Julie is? She plays the mom sometimes when I'm not available. She's blonde too. Probably similar to my age. I've seen her in all these videos, and then I worked with her for the first time, and then when the cameras weren't rolling, she's talking in an accent, and I was like, I didn't know you were not from America. I don't remember where she was from though. I don't know if she's British, but there are people on there from other places. They just live here now. Okay. Orly says, this is for everybody on this live. Listen to Katherine and take her advice. She will change your life for the best. Oh, thank you. What do you want? You want what? Can you express yourself to Timmy? Can you tell Timmy what you want? Can you articulate your words better so I know what you're saying? You want to watch Cars? You want to watch what? Timmy, can you put on what Eli wants to watch? Okay, go tell him. Okay, so Carrie asks, what do you think of Amish people? You know, I'm not sure if I've ever met any, but I guess from what I've seen or observed from the outside, they seem to be very dedicated, hardworking people, really family-centered, really plugged into wanting to please God. There's a lot of noble traits that they have. I don't know. I don't really know any enough to think of, you know. Aslexi asks, what do you think of different religions? Well, I know there's thousands and thousands of them out there, but I probably don't know enough about them to have formed thoughts on all of them. I don't even know what they all are. But I would say any religion that keeps us centered on God and His purposes for us and helping humanity is a noble cause. But any religion that tries to subjugate people, who tries to oppress people, who tries to keep certain segments down, like women or that tries to say some people are higher than others and some people are less than others. I don't really care for those religions because I don't think that's at the heart of God. And I think sometimes they're just made up by some domineering person that wants to be in control and is not really from the heart of God. All right. Okay, do we have anyone on Dhar Mann with a visual impairment? That would be great. Jordan, not that I've ever seen or met.
Mommy,
So I don't think so.
Mommy,
What's that? Timmy, can you please put on what Eli wants to watch? He's pretty upset right now. Okay, Timmy's putting it on for you. Okay, make sure you tell him with words, not whining, what you need. That should be, I should do a webinar on that. Use words, not whining. Then you'll get what you want. What do you think, Lily asks, what do you think of people who are happy outside and destroyed from inside? Please reply to me. I would be very happy. So are you talking about people who are like really, really down and depressed, but they pretend to be happy on the outside? Is that what you're talking about? I've been there. I've done that a lot. Yes, Editing Lakes, I went to tons of acting classes. I went to at least a dozen acting classes, and some I attended for years. And towards the end, up until April of this year, I had a private acting coach the last 5 years. Okay, somebody wants to know how I met my husband. I used to go to this dance club for teens. He's not letting you? Anyway, we would get so hungry after dancing all night, we would go out to eat at the only place still open till 2 a.m., and that was Subway, and my teenage sweetheart, Robert, who I ended up marrying, was working at Subway. He was a sandwich artist. So, yeah. And then I met him one other time personally at a party, and we were, I think, so the first time I met him I was 17, and then at 18 we met at a party, and then that was now it's history. We've been together since I was 18. Okay. So, like 5 years. Okay. How do you play fearlessly? What do you mean by that? Do you mean without being self-conscious? Do you want to work with Rebecca Reitz someday, who plays similar roles of what you play? You know what? It's funny, it never crossed my mind. Like, I don't think about who would I love to work with one day. I guess I don't really think about that. I kind of like the surprise. I kind of like I'm shooting something tomorrow for the next 3 days. And I kind of like showing up and going, ooh, who's going to be here today? Who's going to be in this with me today? I don't know. Maybe she'll be in it. I don't know. It's a nice surprise not to always know who's going to be there. We are all equal, and I believe that, Jordan said. Jordan is one of our people in our community here who has a sight impairment, if I'm not mistaken. So that's why he was asking if there's any visually impaired people on Dhar Mann. Okay, so, Carrie says she's Amish. Oh, so you can tell us more about that. See, and there's misconceptions that are being broken right now, because I used to think that Amish didn't do anything if it wasn't invented 100 years or older. At least that's one of the rumors that go around, that if something was invented less than 100 years from now, then Amish people don't do it. But I suppose there's different kinds of Amish, just like there's different kinds of Christians and different kinds of Jews. So, let's see. New Biz says, you're right. God isn't surprised to God. I don't want to feel miserable anymore because of my condition. I'm looking forward to his strength and I trust him again. Thank you very much for your wise words. Awesome. And that's all we need to do is just lean on God. No, I don't think I know who Elizabeth Olsen is, Editing Lakes. People judge my teeth. What should I do? Probably just ignore them. If you don't like your teeth and you want to do something about it, do it. But don't do it just because somebody else is like not liking your teeth. Okay, let's see. Dear Katherine, is it good to hold in your sorrows and keep crying from inside? It's going to make us feel very lonely and very frustrated. We all know sadness and hopelessness never remains forever. Yeah, I would say no. I used to do that. I used to hold in all my emotions and my pain. It's not good for you. It's not good for your body. It's not good for your mental state. It's not good for anything. So if you have someone you can talk to that you trust, then do that. If you don't, I mean, first and foremost, prayer. Tell God everything. He already knows anyway. But you'll feel so much better when you get it off your chest and you pray and you're like, God, I'm going through this. I'm so sad. Please help me. I don't know how to feel happy. Please come, bring me joy. Show me how to get rid of this pain, this burden. Prayer is not this like formal thing that you have to do everything perfectly. I know some religions have like prayer booklets and you follow these rote prayers that somebody wrote out and just have to say all these perfect words. It doesn't have to be like that at all. God is our friend. If I can say that. Does that sound too bold? Well, Jesus said that in his scriptures, that he has called us friend. So if you guys feel, like you can be God's friend, he's there. He's there to intercede for you. He's there on your behalf. So what would you tell a friend? Ask for help. Ask for whatever you need. Ask him and cry. Don't hold it in. If you don't want to cry in front of anyone, that's fine. Go in your room and close the door and cry for a little bit. And then get a notebook out. Get your journal out and start writing down how you're feeling. Start writing down what your prayers are and asking God what you should do about it, and write down anything you feel like God might be telling you to do. It's very helpful to write about it. It's very helpful to, instead of holding all those feelings and emotions in, to express yourself, to get it out there, to talk about it. That in itself will lighten its load. Sometimes we feel like something is so huge. It's like so gigantic. But when you say it out loud or you say it to somebody and they repeat it back to you, it kind of sounds like it's not as big of a deal as we've been making it out to be. And I'm not saying what you're going through is not a big deal, but sometimes we blow it up to be this giant thing when in reality, it's, if you sometimes just speak about it or hear it out loud and hear someone say it back, you realize, oh, maybe I've been just making too much out of this. But whatever your scenario is, just let it out. Don't hold it in. Okay. Sam Preeth says, in the USA, people who don't go to college... Is he not helping you with your show? I'm sorry. Okay, so where did your... So it says in USA, even people who don't go to college end up working at a good place, but it's not the same in India. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I lost your comment because this little one. So I think what you were saying is it's different in India. And so, what can you do to break out of that mold, to break out of those stereotypes, to make a lane for yourself, to carve your own path? If things aren't done a certain way where you are, how would you like to see them done? And what can you do to maybe be one of the first to break out of that stereotype, to break out of that mold, to make a difference, to get someone to trust you, to get a good job where maybe if you didn't go to college, you wouldn't have one. what some people would do, that I've seen them do, is they would go to the job that they want to have, the people that they want to work for and study under and learn from. And you can do a lot of self-study. You can read a lot of books. You can watch a lot of videos. You can take online courses. You can do all kinds of stuff to get the knowledge you need, even if you didn't have money to go to college. And then what you would do is go to that place that you want to work, and you put yourself together, and you put a nice presentation together, and you get an interview. You tell them, you know what? I will work here for 3 months for free. I will be your intern. I will do this. I will learn everything I can from you. Sometimes we have to start somewhere where we need to prove ourselves, and we need to say, I will be under your tutelage. I will be your right-hand person. And maybe you do that for a period for free. And that's like your college education. That's like your learning. And you tell that person, you know what? If at the end of 3 months you think I've proven myself, you think I'm good enough, and then you work harder than all those people with the college degrees, you work smarter than all those people with college degrees, you pull your weight, you go over and above, you anticipate the needs of the people in the company and your boss before they get to them, and you become so invaluable. You become someone they can't afford to like get rid of, and at the end of the 3 months, you tell them, you know what? If I've proven myself to you at the end of the 3 months, then I would love to stay on and work with you. You know, if this is a company they wouldn't have considered you before, you'll be surprised at the people who would, if they see how amazing you are in your work ethic and how you do better than you come in before anyone else, you leave later than everyone else. You know, everything is possible for you if you just believe and you come up with smart, creative ways around that. So I do think there is a solution for you, and I don't think just because it's a certain way where you have to have a college degree or whatever, that doesn't have to stop you from having the success you want. You may just have to find a creative way around it. Does that make sense? Okay, so guys, my time is up. I got to get these boys ready for church. Rob's not here, and I'm doing it by myself the last few days because he's out camping and doing some archery competition. So I will see you guys next Sunday. Bring your questions if I didn't answer them today, and have an amazing week. Bye.